Hello!
Hello.
I was very late for that.
I nearly died before we started recording this.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Bronchitis is a bitch.
Yeah, it sucks.
The prelims are done and dusted.
How long did
Yeah, this was a much better week of football.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun.
Mm.
And then the Dally M's were last night, which I'll rant about a couple of things there. But I guess we'll start with the women's prelims. The Roosters played the Sharks, and that was way closer than it had
You really thought
right to be.
that should have been like a blowout because of the way, because 2 weeks prior to this, the Roosters had beaten the Sharks 40-10.
Yeah,
And the fucking stadium too was fun.
yeah. Well, I don't think Bridie Parker got sin bin last time.
No, but that was, to be fair, with about 15 minutes to go or something. It was still pretty close even then. So
They scored two tries during that period.
yeah, which made it closer than it was. But a very, very calmly taken field goal.
Yeah, it's just
Beautifully hit. Didn't look like missing. So it's the grand final that we all thought we would get at the start of the year.
yeah, no surprises here.
Yeah,
And you know what? I actually don't mind it.
yeah,
I know for a fact that it's going to be a good game.
maybe better than the men's.
I think it could this women's grand final may legitimately end up being one of the best rugby league games. Period.
I mean, they're the standout teams of the competition. It's them two in a decent sized gap.
Oh yeah,
With Cronulla in the middle of that, and then the Cowboys after that.
Newcastle are there as well somewhere.
Newcastle Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all similar.
No, yeah, I will give a lot of credit to Cronulla.
Yeah, the defense was excellent.
That was really, really well.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with the halfback Shante Kirioratu. I thought she was excellent.
Her kicking game really kept the Sharks in it.
She's great.
Yeah.
And the usual Tiana Penatani Gray shout out. She's just one of the best.
Yep.
Their defense was just slightly worse. That's all it was. They conceded 150 more post-contact meters and 6 line breaks, which I know against the Roosters is probably fine.
It's not bad.
But it's just a little bit worse than what the Roosters offered up in this game. So
yeah, I think the Roosters were probably guilty of trying to get through the game without maybe getting too many injuries as well for the grand final, because although that made it very scary there for a little bit for them, perhaps.
yeah.
Well, the Sharks were just really, really good.
Well, I think the Roosters had at least one person play limited minutes through injury, and that was Amber Hall.
Yeah,
So
hopefully should be okay for next week.
Yeah.
For 3 days' time.
hopefully,
Yeah.
on the Roosters side, easy standout. Jocelyn Callagher is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's so good. Olivia Koenig, 26 runs for 250 meters.
Yeah.
She is awesome.
Yep.
Their forwards are just so good. Like Rima Butler is also excellent. There's so much good. There's so much good with this Roosters crew.
Yeah, Isabella Kelly there, Isabella Kelly stuff.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
All those Bill Kelly things. Right now, getting binned, we talked about. Didn't help them, but they ended up winning. So, good job, Roosters.
Mm-hmm. No, well done. But a good effort from the ladies from the Shire.
Absolutely. Kind of like the men's Sharks, isn't it? They got further than most people would have thought.
Yeah. Well, I thought the men's Sharks actually, their back half of the season, so their back quarter of the season was actually very good.
Yeah.
They picked up, but then they, ran into Melbourne, unfortunately, and that was kind of that. NRLW Bronx versus Knight.
This was much closer to what I expected from this game.
Yeah.
Brisbane were just way too good.
Well, we say that, but their completion rate was like 60%.
I think it was 56 by the end of the night.
It's not good.
Well, if they can win.
They do, I know, but if they do that against the Roosters, it's not the same as the Knights.
The Roosters aren't a great completion percentage team either, though.
Well, that was 72 is still better than 56 in my book.
Let me find out what their actual. There is a passing. No? Negative play, maybe. I don't know where completion percentage is in this thing.
Doesn't matter.
There it is. They in terms of the regular season, both of them finished on 72% completions. So
Therefore, the Broncos were quite down in their preliminary final.
and
Whereas-
by 24 points.
Whereas the Roosters were bum average to their normal, which was 72%, and only just got over the Sharks. But that, once again, that was probably came with the fact that they lost a player to
Exactly. I think if Parker doesn't get sin bin,
Yeah.
they don't concede those two tries.
Yeah.
So
But so the Broncos, their attack is good.
Kenny Captain's very good.
They've got the best fullback in the game by some distance.
Apparently the best player.
Apparently the best player in the game.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
She's very consistent, though. I mean, she's just one of these players that always will garner points.
This is true. Yeah, I think Brisbane's thing, they just offloaded a lot and their forwards were really good. 56 tackle breaks, 15 offloads. Really, really good. I was very sad that Julia Robinson didn't get Dally M because she was excellent here again.
Yeah, I know. See, the finals games don't go into Dally M, which is, I guess, fair because
Yeah.
three-quarters of the players don't get to play them, so 2/3. So
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shalom Salaso, NRLW Rookie of the Year, was excellent once again.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that because she's awesome. And I remember in week 1 of the NRLW season, I picked that she was going to be a star. And she was awesome. She's so good. That she will be the key, I think, against the
Brisbane going
Roosters
well, yeah, and going forward.
for a while.
Yeah.
She's excellent.
She's very, very humble, and which is nice too.
She's only like
She's
19.
very young, yeah. Yeah, well, that doesn't mean she'll ever get big-headed or anything. I think overall the girls are much more level-headed than the boys are in this game.
I'm pretty stock standard in the real world of real life.
No,
Probably. No, I don't know about that.
I think so.
So,
I think they have to soon because they don't get paid a living wage to do this.
yeah, well, I guess men, however, that's
They
it.
do. Yeah.
Well done. So next week we look forward to the least surprising grand final.
Yeah, but this is like not surprising in a good way.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope it turns out to be a really good game.
Yes. Now the men.
Yeah.
Cronulla. Will you ever do anything of note?
No.
No. Probably not with Nico Hines.
And then
there.
the Wales game.
Nico was terrible.
Yeah, he was really, really poor.
Pringle tried his best, but then he also tried his best to take Hughes' head off.
Yeah.
The Sharks imploded. Look, the two games that they played to get here, to get to that point, were not hard.
Their first half was quite good in this game.
Well, they kept pace a little bit with them. They scored 2 tries apiece. And Melbourne just flipped the switch and went, see you later.
That's all that happened.
And the only reason the Sharks got to 14 was because
The most garbage time try.
he scores after the siren, sliding over the line sideways. Just stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't take a hero, but it didn't really matter in the end, did it?
However,
I do, but there was a really bad performance by the Sharks. And Melbourne did what Melbourne does, and Jerome Hughes back with a broken arm. Comes back and does amazingly good
He
things.
was really good. Karen Munster was really good.
Parano Udu Kamanu it was a crisis.
Where does this come from?
I don't know, but I'm glad it has because
Wales time.
he's had to step up in the absence of some other big players who would normally give him a bit of a break. Right? But the other forward, Kamitha, he was excellent as well.
Yeah, he was really, really strong.
He came on, one of his runs there, he was almost like a fullback running, man. I thought, far out.
Yeah, good.
But anyway, yeah,
One thing, a big man in space.
yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially him because he's actually mobile. He's
Yeah.
not just a that's him up, get up and walk away or
That's
something.
just
He-
nasty.
Yeah, look, obviously the big story for Melbourne was the return of Jerome Hughes, and I think you could see it. You could see they were a lot more measured with him in the team.
They've got their full strength spine back.
Yeah.
First time for like ever.
A while.
Yeah. And that should be pretty scary because they were all on as well. None of the spine had a bad game.
No, they were really great.
Yeah, and their forwards set the platform, and then they've got these massive wingers on the edges, and I mean
They've got
complete
strike everywhere.
they're a complete team. They deserve to be in the grand final. I know you don't like that, but they do deserve to be there.
They do.
So they've had a pretty good season.
Yeah, they were really, really good.
And
87% completion rate, 53% of the ball. They were just really, really strong. This is a finals performance from Melbourne, and that's what you need.
And Bellamy always gets them ready for this. Just that stat that I read, in 23 seasons, he's made the finals 22 times, and the only time he didn't was when they had their points taken away and they couldn't score points. They came last because of that. Thank you, because otherwise it would have been the Cowboys. And out of those 22 times, they've got to the grand final 50% of the time, which is better than Wayne Bennett now.
Yes, but Penrith being good for 4 years is insufferable.
Yes. 4 years in a row. I don't mind these guys, they spaced it out.
He's good for 20 years in a row.
Yeah, but they haven't won 20 years in a row.
That just means Craig Bellamy's a fraud when it comes to finals.
No, not really. Look, 50% of the time.
It's working at all.
I think he's got a win percentage of like 67% or something.
It's stupid. It's stupid and dumb, but you have to respect him.
But he takes a lot of people say, "Oh, it's no wonder he got there with all those stars." He made them into stars. It was Cameron Munster before he played himself.
Nobody.
Played 3 games.
Was a Cowboy and a Titan. Brian Pappenhausen was a Titan.
Yes.
And they did great.
So was Stefano.
Like to tell where did he come from?
Warrior.
He was a warrior.
He was one of those, like, I'd like to tell was somehow the least surprising rise of all of them because we could see the ceiling at
John Taylor.
another
Tiger. You got
that's the
this guy, the Bronco on the wing, who's now one of the
Xavier Cope.
best wingers in the competition. It's like he makes them into superstars. He was terrible. Sorry, he was not good. He was very average, above average. He was above average at the other 2 teams that he was at, and now he's turned into this centre superstar. Right?
I don't know
He was I mean, it was Anderson. Where did these guys come from?
maybe even people like Josh King, who have turned into like mainstays. Trent Loiero. I want to hear that Melbourne don't have a good development system.
They're
Both.
Yeah, they're just killing it. And they're not superstars. Nobody knew who Billy Slater was before he went there. Nobody knew who Cameron Smith was. They were playing in Queensland Cup or something. They weren't anything special.
Yeah.
And then they become these superstars. It's not they get superstars. It's they develop them. Even Cooper Cronk.
Yeah, it's not
developed.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's not like they're signing people after they're already become good players.
They haven't done that. They never. I don't think they've really ever signed. Maybe Greg Inglis might have been the only one that they got him fairly young as well. Yeah, he was very young when he got there. So
yeah,
South's managed to get him at his prime, right?
I guess maybe Will Warbrook is the only one you can argue that's maybe he was good before he showed up.
I've never heard of him though. Had you heard of him?
No, but he was an Olympian, so
No, for
a Union, right? Was it Olympians? Yeah.
You're fair enough. Fair enough. You're in the Olympics, you're probably pretty fair.
This is a team that, and like you say, Pappenhausen came from the Tigers and wasn't really.
Well, okay, the Tigers ones are less surprising because we know their track record of where bad players go.
And they turn out being good players like, James Tedesco and stuff. Mitch Moses and all those.
Marty Tapau and all these sorts of guys.
They used to be okay. And then let all those go and they won 3 spoons in a row.
Yeah, so well done, Melbourne. You're into another one. Good luck. And then your opposition took on the 4-time defending premiers.
Stop them.
We have successfully avoided the worst case scenario. Thank you, Brisbane.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Holy crap. I
was hoping they could both lose, and they almost did.
This game was crazy. This game was insane.
I feel so sorry for Paul Alamotti. Oh. He deserved more out of that game. Absolutely. Because he was the best player on the park. Like, out of both teams. He was best out of both teams.
Look, the one thing you can say that maybe caused this is Scott Sorensen getting hurt.
But that doesn't help, right? Because he's very good in the centre. He's very good, and he's a strong attacker as well. So
Luke Garner's a great player, but
he's not and he had to play longer minutes than he would have been used to.
exactly.
2 calls, I guess. That could have gone a 50-50 either way.
I still think Casey McLean was offside.
I think his foot was on the line as the guy played the ball. If you actually look at the replay, his foot doesn't leave the line until the guy playing the ball strikes at it. And that's when you can start moving. And so that will be the one that is the 50-50, the biggest 50-50, because Casey McLean streaks away scores.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, he was under the post, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was near him, and he's probably the second fastest guy on the field.
Who's the first one?
I don't know, maybe Reece Walsh over short distance.
It's all right, but
Danny Mariner, maybe he's very quick. Karapani. But no, Casey McLean, he scores. And that takes him out to whatever, and the Brisbane fans weren't very pleasant. I mean, he didn't know it was offside. He was called offside. And they're throwing him, telling him where to go.
But they're Brisbane fans.
They are.
They're giving the one finger salute. They give everybody that.
That's one. What was the other one?
The Ezra Mann tackle on.
This is on the ground.
You see that one still, dude. You have to look at the whole thing and not just the one still.
Stills, and it's
You can see it from the front.
and his foot is like this.
The only thing you can see is his arms are like this. You don't see them actually touching him at the time.
Bando.
You can't see the
You
shadow.
don't see the shadow. It's close enough to be touching
You can't see the shadow. That's part of it.
Well, that's the point. Like, this doesn't cause a shadow.
No, but
in contact.
I would see it anyway. You wouldn't necessarily see it,
But
but
the
from
sun
the angle.
was out and you're not able to see a shadow.
No, son, it was night time, you big doofus.
Probably not at that
It
time,
was-
to be fair.
4:05. The game started at 4:05.
I started at 6 or 7 o'clock.
6, 7.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's a Sunday game. They typically start.
Sunday, it's all the grand final is always at night time.
This isn't the grand final, though.
This is a prelim.
Yeah. I think it was in the evening. It was starting to go dark, sorry, at that time, because it was.
When
Yeah.
did this? I can't even check.
Wasn't that a penalty, actually?
Right.
Better try and-
No, I think it might have been. Was it in the first half?
I'm trying to find
No, it was in the second half, I think, because Man was on, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. I thought he was fine. I thought Ezra Mann was
I didn't
fine.
think he did very much.
He did.
Bruce Walsh did nothing, apart from that one bounce pass. It was lucky. Could have bounced anywhere. Luckily enough, it bounced into Mariner's arms. And once again, I know you brought that up to me during the week with what do you think of the double movement possibility?
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was, but I can understand why people could look at it and go, it's pretty close. Yeah, okay. So it was later on, but it gets dark early, and the lights will take
effect in
effect,
the second half.
which can actually have an effect on how the shadows work.
Yeah.
But
You brought up Paul Alamotti.
somebody,
He
he was so good.
He was phenomenal. He's so good.
I feel bad for Tom Jenkins, but Paul Alloy is just so
He made the right call, eh?
Yeah.
He's been so good in the 2 weeks, 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I feel sorry for him because look, he made Reece Walsh look stupid. Although Reece Walsh does a pretty good job of that himself.
Yeah, by drinking toilet water.
And here's the thing, he hurdled him. He does a slide. What's he playing, soccer? Tries a slide tackle.
I think this was also Reece Walsh when the Cowboys played Brisbane. Was it Brisbane or the Warriors a few years ago? And Reece Walsh was like stumbling in front of Murray to line. And Murray just over him.
Yeah, that was the Warriors.
That is Reece Walsh's Achilles heel, right? He's very good in attack. I'm not arguing that point. He can go missing in defence sometimes.
Yes, and that's a big knock on him. I think he's kind of like Scott Drinkwater.
He's very much like Scott Drinkwater in that. Yeah.
So he do need to, if he wants to be like top echelon fullbacks, I do think he needs to get a little bit better with that.
I mean, you look at people like Billy Slater, who wasn't a massive human being, but he was very good in defence.
Well, you look at like Dylan Edwards from the last few years, very
good. Yeah. James Tedesco, He knows where to be.
Exactly. And this is my argument for why fullback shouldn't be in the line at all. Because you get fullbacks wandering around.
Yeah.
And his job is
they're the ones who fix any holes in the wall, right? Yeah. Cover the breach. But look, Brisbane played well in the second half. It was a game of two halves.
yes.
Penrith 14-0 up and the 14-0 curse hit again.
Yeah.
So the turning point was when they decided not to go for two, when it would have been a gimme 2 points. That would have taken them to 16. And at worst, they go up to extra time.
Well, okay, to be fair, who does that? Who takes the
Goes
two?
from 8 to 10. I know.
Yeah, who does that?
But in a economy, you take points when they're on offer. Right? Because if they got nothing out of it, and then Brisbane marched down the field and scored their second try. If they take the two, they get the ball back, and that try doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So all these sliding door moments. I always love sliding door moments. It's like a choose your own adventure. Take the two. What happens?
Especially in games where it's this close, I feel like there's a lot more emphasis on that sort of thing.
Like, yeah, I mean, 14-6. Yeah, 16-6 means that they would have to convert both tries to even
I feel like
try and win. And Walsh's kicking game was certainly not on song on the weekend.
no.
He missed a fairly simple conversion attempt.
That was really bad.
But then, of course, Mr. Ice in his veins comes up and goes, yeah, you live for these ones.
Yeah.
Bang.
Adam Reynolds thinks it.
And then what was really confusing was usually they set up beautifully for 2-point field goals, which is why Cleary's probably kicked the most of them in the competition, because they know how to set up. They didn't even look like setting up for a 2-point field goal.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how the ball ends up in Moses Leotz's hands there.
It needs to go back.
And even then, if I'm Moses Leotz, I run backwards to at least not make the pass 25.
Yeah, well, the problem was it wasn't the hooker passing it this time. It was actually Isaiah Yo.
Yeah.
And his pass was very wobbly and and then they threw it to Dylan. What they should have was just kept the ball alive at that point. They weren't in position to take a field goal. They're the last tackle. They need to just keep it alive, keep throwing it around. Kick it. Because if Edwards kicks it over to the left, all the Broncos are up. This one,
Toto was up mark.
yeah, kick it over to the left. Toto catches, scores, whatever. Yeah. There's a couple of things that they should have done, but they panicked, which is not normal
Not for Penrith.
So
Strange.
I think I think they were a bit rattled. The fact that they got to that lead and they lost it. But we get the non-Sydney grand final, so that's pretty cool as well.
That's good. We talked about a couple of Brisbane players. I want to bring up Payne Haas again. Cranks out 80 minutes in a prelim final, 180 metres, 4 tackle breaks, 46 tackles with no miss.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely stellar.
More than the meters is those 46 with 0 misses. I mean,
good.
he's just a machine, isn't he? I mean, probably get an X-ray to see if he's not a cyborg, man. He's just ridiculous.
There's one of those Japanese robots that doesn't miss a.
I remember talking in the preseason about how my concern for the Broncos is they hadn't really found like another player to go with Payne Haas in the forwards. They just got a better Payne Haas to do it. That's all that's happened. He's hit another level, and it's just insane.
So I think the Payne Haas Utalika Manu comp on the weekend will be worth the money itself.
Oh man,
they're just going to go at it, and I think that's fun.
And especially with Stefano. Here we go.
He's allowed to. I think it's fun.
I think it's fun. In fact, I encourage it. I think that's great.
I've been banter before the game, and why not? Oh, they're poking me. They're not poking the bear.
Who's the bear?
They're like, they'd be used to this sort of nonsense anyway. I mean, nobody likes them very much, so they realise this, right? And that's something with Melbourne. As good as they are, they're not nearly as conceited as the Broncos team.
That is true.
You know, I mean, you might have 1 or 2 months that could probably be up there as one who's a little bit, but even he just looks like he just goes out there and has fun.
Yeah, we talked about the screwed up field goal attempt at the end of the game. I think what stunk them more was one brain snap from Nathan Cleary trying to go for that intercept that led to the Xavier Wilson try.
Yeah.
Because the entire game, Penrith had been so good on their own line, just so disciplined and calm. That one moment changes everything.
Well, that's very possible as well. I mean, that put them in front. No, that was the one that put them up to 12, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I bet it's not funny.
Up to 10, sorry.
Sorry.
Yep.
Be careful, you might want to not have banter because Ashley Klein's going to send you for 10.
There was no headbutting in this game.
No, but Hudson Young.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that anyone should have been tuned in throwing punches in this game?
That's been clear.
No, I don't think Cleary actually threw it. I thought it was a backhand like this.
Actually, just that.
I thought it was more of like get off me type thing.
There's a couple of close ones. I think that Liam Martin
was very close to going.
Yeah.
And look, once again, it was I think Cleary possibly thought he was taken in the air, and that's probably why he reacted like he did.
Probably.
And even if he wasn't, it was like one frame between being in the air and not being in the air. Right, so it was very close, and I understand the call. I understand the fracas as well, and I'm glad that they just said, "Well, let's just get back to playing football." Yeah, you know. But yes, but that missed opportunity at the 2-point goal, plus that led to Xavier Wilson's try right down the other end. So the sliding door moment there. And they kicked it. They actually have the ball.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't even. It's not closed fist. Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah,
It's like this.
It's like
a heel of your hand.
Yeah, but his hand is like this, but he didn't hit him with the knuckles. He hit him with the palm.
Yeah. And look, I don't know. I mean, look, I think
Martin should have been done for third man in is the thing.
You like punched Ezra Man in the face.
he missed everything. So it was like,
I feel like a lot of people want to do that.
Yeah.
I know.
he shouldn't be. I'm sorry. And look, we can harp on that. He's playing anyway. He shouldn't be, based on what they've done to Victor Radley, for something way, way less.
But see, that just means that the Roosters, the club, are a better club than the Broncos.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Brisbane, he should have been out for the year. I'm sorry. If you are driving under the influence of drugs, you crash into a car, you injure a couple of people. I'm not saying they were near death's door, but he still injured a couple of people with that accident.
Like what? Well, even if you pick another Brisbane player, what if Ben Tulty did that? He probably doesn't have a contract.
What if Victor Radley did that?
If Victor Radley
He
did that,
wouldn't be playing football.
he would be for solitary confinement.
Apparently, you're footballers, so you don't cop the same as football. Let's say it's not even a football. Let's say it's somebody else who does that.
I think the judicial system really failed because they only fined him $800 or something. That's all the punishment he got from the courts. That's what I hate.
Maybe Nelson did that.
He buried somewhere.
And he would have to be driving a truck, not a car.
Yeah.
A normal-sized sedan.
I was going to say, you can't really
Well, man wasn't driving a sedan, he was driving a ute.
No, maybe.
So, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter what he was driving. He did that under the influence of cocaine or whatever it was, hurt somebody. He should have been out. 8 weeks is not nearly enough.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody thought so.
No, except for Brisbane, apparently. They're a little unto themselves. Because you look at the Cowboys, right? James, their attacking coach, Maloney gets done for very low-range drink driving, and he's fired.
I do think there was probably some stuff behind the scenes.
Maybe there was, but that wasn't brought out to light, so it's hard to speculate on that.
I think they're really, although I suppose the Cowboys do kind of have a track record for being very strict on that sort of thing.
Yeah, and
then they signed Todd Carney, which is funny.
Well, he never actually. I mean,
he was just an idiot.
He was an idiot. He never drove drunk or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they had people who did, but they get rid of them straight up. They don't just.
Like Ben Barber.
Ben Barber, that was for throwing rocks at his missus.
And then had a goal.
For crashing a moat. I'm still very impressed. as to how the hell you crash a moat.
Impressive.
They're like roller skates. The wheels are on the corners.
So
Why
wide.
would you do that? And I think it was it Guy and Mosby was done for driving without a license, and that was the end for him, right? So this is the Cowboys are way more strict on that. And if Mann had been playing for the Cowboys, he would not have a contract with them
Oh,
anymore.
no way. No chance in hell.
But for the Broncos, hey, that's right, because they signed people who beat families up.
No, there was a funny meme I saw, and it was like that the Brisbane Broncos were interested in James Hooper after getting to a
Yes.
drum
I'm surprised they haven't signed Paul Kent as
You have to fight a tree. You know, and unfortunately, that's going to dog them, right? I mean,
We are veering wildly off track.
that's right. Anyway, Brisbane win. They go into battle next week.
You
Off the Melbourne Storm.
One more game, Brisbane, please.
No, Brisbane are not favourites.
No, they're not favourites. Brisbane are favourites.
On tipping, that's what everyone's tipped. Well, most people have tipped.
Well, yeah,
That's because they just, I think that's a we hate Melbourne tip.
Melbourne are $1.74 favourite. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Brisbane are 210 or
I think it's
something.
going to be very close, though.
It is grand final weekend. Man, this is going to be fun. Brisbane in both games. No, I'm not saying they're.
Oh, yeah,
I'm saying
they're in both games. Look, less surprising in the girls, I think, that they got there. A little more surprising that they got there for the men.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And look, for the ladies, this is going to be a good game.
Oh, this game's going to be
The
excellent.
last time they played, they were split by goal kicks. That is all.
It was 5 tries apiece.
So
We could be in for an absolute classic.
I'll go Roosters.
I don't know who I want to win this game. I think it all depends on if Amber Hall plays.
She can make a difference, right? Hopefully she eases up and gets really, really
Yeah, well,
healthy for the
last week she played the 10 minutes and ran twice, albeit for 27 meters. Yes, you're bad.
Only one behind you.
Very good.
Still, yes.
I don't know. Brisbane are the favourites, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's just based on. I think that's based on the game that just went. Brisbane won by 24, and the Roosters won by 1.
Yeah,
That's probably why Brisbane have been put in as favourites. I still think the Roosters should be favourite to win that game.
I think the big matchup in this game is through the centres. Lafunga and Robinson versus Sturgis and Kelly is that's a classic.
That's a good admission right there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
In a very, very
come on, ladies. I'm not really tipping too hard. I think the Roosters can probably do it, but I could be wrong. I mean, Brisbane have also.
It would, to be fair, it would be very fun for the Roosters to go undefeated the whole year and lose the only game that really matters.
This is it. That's interesting though, because you look at Craig Bellamy got asked, "Is it a failure of a season if you get to the grand final and don't win?"
No.
And he said,
What?
What is that crap?
Yeah. That's the dumbest question I've ever heard someone ask.
It's been a successful season for Melbourne.
Yes.
Look, and finished second,
And because this is what people expected Melbourne to do, doesn't mean it's a failure.
no,
What?
that's just dumb. So, look, I'm not tipping this. I think Roosters, but doesn't really matter.
Roosters' defense is slightly better.
Yeah, and their control of the ball is slightly better overall.
I give the Roosters the edge here.
Should we just say championship?
Close.
We can talk about the state champion quickly.
The Warriors are going to win that.
Well,
I mean, they almost went the season undefeated.
Yeah, they'll beat the Bears. I'm not particularly flexible on that one, I don't think.
well, it's just, when you look at the New South Wales Cup, the majority of those players actually get paid to play football.
Yes.
In the Queensland Cup, the majority of those players have full-time jobs.
Yes, this
This is
is
not football.
The Warriors had 21 wins. They drew once and they lost only 2.
yeah, they were really good. But also they have
And the Bears.
They also have a lot of the first graders playing in their team.
yeah.
Tony Tuapiki's playing, which is
Yeah,
Into a Biggie, Tanner
Tanner
Boyd,
Boyd,
Ali Leitao, all these sorts of guys. Hannah Stowers Smith
they've
is
all got plenty of NRL experience.
yeah. Ed Cosby.
I think we worked out that
and Healy,
I
like
think we worked out that the other team only has like 2 or 3
yeah, there's not
who
many.
has NRL experience at all.
There's this Lorenzo Militalu, I think's played once. Josh Rogers has played a couple of games.
Yeah.
I think that might be Cosby. Is the other one? I think that's it.
Josh Rogers.
Yeah.
So look, I would love to see.
Did I say the winger as the captain? Hold on. Oh no, centre. Okay.
I would love to see an upset here because last year was an upset when the North Devils won.
True.
Anytime the Queensland Cup, because once again they're not the same. The New South Wales Cup, they're all paid to play football.
Exactly.
Queensland Cup, like I said, they're all tradies or whatever. They come after work to train. You know, it's a little bit different.
I'm really tired at the end of the day.
So, go the Bears. Go the Bears. I don't think they'll win, but go the Bears anyway.
Yeah.
So they at least put up a good fight.
Yes.
Now the men.
The big bears. Melbourne and Brisbane.
No New South Wales teams.
Woo! Yes!
The same.
New South Wales suck.
Yeah. The only thing good about New South Wales is it separates Queensland from Victoria.
Woo! Victoria's just part of Queensland.
In that relevance anyway.
Melbourne is, yeah.
The only state that's not part of Queensland when it comes to NRL is New South Wales.
Yeah. So, I think both teams are unchanged.
Yeah. They're 1-17, I think, as they were last week. Mam stays on the interchange bench. Probably comes on half an hour into the game. Tyson Smoothie. He dropped out, did he?
No, Tyson Smoothie's still there.
Okay.
I'm not sure I like that. I think I'd prefer to have Ben Telsey on the bench over Tyson Smoothie.
Well, he's never gone Smoothie because he's pretty consistent with his defence.
He is pretty good in defence.
But, you know, Carrigan can play 80 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. But there's so many great matchups all over the field in this game.
Mm-hmm.
The one where I see that Melbourne have the distinct
Back rows.
I think it's the wings.
Oh, the wings.
Based on sheer height.
Yeah. Like both of them taller, right?
Exactly. I think that will be the game plan for Melbourne. Be solid through the middle of the field and kick to your more, bro.
Yeah.
I think that has to be the game plan.
I think what they'll try and do is be dominant to start with. They might try and go through the middle. Harry Grant will pick moments to go, and we know he's a very good game reader. Harry Grant, he knows the time to go. He knows, like in that game against Cronulla, that he saw that there were a couple of guys with their backs to him, and he just grabbed the ball and took off.
What are you freaking out about?
Basically the same height, 194 to 193.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
they're 6'5", 6'4", and 6, just under 6'4".
Yeah, you're both about 6'4",
and they both weigh 100 kilos. You know, it's like
This man doesn't have a height. He doesn't.
Yeah, Sai Karapani doesn't exist. Neither does Dean Mariner.
But we can say that they're probably 6 foot at tops.
Yeah, they're definitely not as tall.
And of course, that then gets your wingspan happening, which is obviously going to be longer for the Storm as well.
Yeah, that's where I think Melbourne have the advantage. I think Brisbane have the advantage in the centres. I think I'd much prefer the Stag Shibasaki combo to Howarth and Meaney.
But to be fair, Howarth has been very strong.
I thought he had a fairly quiet game.
He was the one that set up the last try of.
True, he did. He summed that up very well.
So, look, I think Melbourne have slightly better attack and slightly better defence than Brisbane overall.
Brisbane have just the stupid factor. It's like the Raiders.
But this is the way it's, you know. I believe that Melbourne should be slight favourites, and I'd say, you know, around 46 points are going to be scored in this game.
There could be a lot of points. There could be a shootout.
I think Melbourne probably win by at least a try. So
Except Melbourne by 8.
I have no idea.
And I do that not just because I don't like Brisbane, but the stats all play out. And I know that stats don't mean a lot all the time, but
stats for Brisbane in grand finals are tough because they've only been in 3 in like the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Whereas Melbourne have been in, like you said, 11.
I think if you're looking at over the period of time, Melbourne have been a way more consistent team.
Yes.
Brisbane made the grand final in 2023, but prior to that, their last grand final was in 2015, which they lost, and the last time they won was in 2006.
Yeah.
So I think apart from that one that Brisbane beat them a couple of weeks back,
Yeah,
Melbourne have had the wood over Brisbane. So, and remember that was Brisbane Melbourne without half their spine, and it was.
yeah.
I think it'll be a very different game this one.
I have no idea who's going to win this game. I really don't know. I think you're right in that Melbourne are probably the sensible pick to win.
Oh, look, Brisbane. I can definitely see
Here's the thing:
the way Brisbane can win the game.
can play 25 minutes of football and end up winning this game very easily. It's a matter of whether they can find that, and it all falls on Reece Walsh. He is going to be the most important player in this game. If he has a good game, Brisbane will win. If he doesn't, Melbourne will win.
If he has an average game, Melbourne wins.
Exactly. That's the equation here.
But that's a problem for Reece sometimes. He tries a bit too hard.
Yeah, last week he wasn't. He set up the final try, obviously, but
Prior to that, he really didn't do a huge amount. He let a try in as well, so.
Grand final.
Yeah,
true. So is Jack Ellis. What's your point?
yeah. There's a number of players that haven't won grand finals
Yeah.
in this game.
I guess the other thing is the redemption of Ben Hunt.
Nobody cares.
If he drops a ball, I think the world will explode. It'll be so funny.
They're going to kick to him, right? Here we go, Benny. Let's do it.
Have fun. That'd be so.
Anyway, we don't have people like Kyle Phillips who can do those kicks off from the kickoff anymore.
No. Who kicks off? Is it me that kicks off?
I think so.
These days?
It's all Pappenhausen.
Or perhaps, yeah.
And they don't have the size of boot that Kyle Phillips would do.
If Eli Katoa is marked up on Brendan Piakura, I'd be looking at that matchup as well. So
I think
they're just going to go over them.
I think Melbourne are better in the edge forwards. I think in the middle, that's probably edge to Brisbane slightly, basically because they've got Hart and Carrigan, two of the best forwards in the game.
I think that I don't know whether to say that Melbourne or Brisbane's bench is better because Brisbane's bench is really, really like defensively
Strong,
very, very strong. But Melbourne's one is a lot more like bruising with like your Lastatis and your Kamakamitas.
and a bit more versatile with people like Wishart.
Yeah, he's annoying. I'm annoying Wishart.
Best bench player in the competition. And look,
Oh man,
I think Melbourne win. I don't know by how much. I think maybe a try.
I want Melbourne to win. I think in terms of there not being an entire off season of very obnoxious Brisbane fans, but I also don't want Melbourne to win because it's Melbourne and I hate them and I'm sick
Then
of
you'll
them.
just be drawn to 1 a.m. and have to be postponed.
Do I want Ezra Mam to win a premiership?
No.
Probably not.
You get to
Look, I hope it'll be a good game.
I vote for a forfeit.
It'll be a good game. I think Melbourne by a try.
I'm tipping the RLPA to go on strike before this game so no one actually plays.
But
There you go.
I'm tipping Team
Victory.
Eagle.
Team Meteor.
That's very special.
See, I don't mind the Storm. I think they're not my number one team, but I don't mind them. Like a lot of people hate them, but I don't know why they have. Apart from the fact, like you said, that they're so consistently good.
They're frustrating because they're so consistent. But you have to respect them for it. That doesn't mean I have to like them.
Yeah, heads up for everybody else. Whoa.
Gee, why hasn't anyone else thought of that?
Oh,
I never thought of that. You hate them for it.
Poppy syndrome. We do have it very badly here in Australia.
Yes.
We always like to see the best people fail.
Well, because it means the lesser people succeed. I think Stephen Bradbury has corrupted our mind.
We've always, even prior to that, we've always been a tall poppy sort of person.
Yeah, that's true.
We
I
like everybody to be better. And look,
think I'm going to give the edge to Melbourne.
I think Melbourne win. I think by a try, it'll be I think somewhere between 4 and 8 points.
Well, how Brisbane have played, I think Brisbane will have the better second half. It's a matter of how far behind in the first half they are and whether they can catch it
But
up.
I don't see Melbourne doing a Penrith either in the second half.
That is true.
I see Melbourne, if they get a lead, they will try and add to it. I don't think Penrith did a very good job of that.
Canberra did a good job of that, though. Brisbane ended up winning that game as well.
Well, the only reason they did that was because of the two people who were sent for 10.
And yeah, just some sheer blind luck.
Yeah.
To be fair, Brisbane have had a lot of that in the back half of the year. Maybe they're the team of destiny.
Look, I definitely see a way that they win.
It's like 51-49 that I'm giving to Melbourne.
Yeah, I think
it's a coin flip.
Yeah, I think Melbourne do win, and I just think they've got more big game players who have played more big games, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
than
that's fair.
Yeah.
Though I will say that the majority of this squad was in that 2023
Yeah.
final. So
I guess
completely.
So Ben Hunt's the only one who was one of the ones who wasn't.
Yeah, but he was in another grand final.
A long time ago.
I think Gehenna Shibasaki might be the only one that hasn't been. Well, I think
Mariner.
Mariner and Karapani probably haven't.
No.
But I don't know. Yeah, Melbourne with a slight edge, but I can very easily see Brisbane winning, and I kind of want them to. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't want them to, and I just think Melbourne is slightly more polished than Brisbane this year, and I think that will go well for them in a grand final.
Fair enough. Hey,
Good luck to all you punters out there.
I'm going to yell about the Aliens.
Oh, that's right.
The Aliens were last night.
Yes.
I'm so glad I stayed up till 9:30 to see James Tedesco win by over 3 games worth of points.
Yeah.
That system is so broken.
The least surprising victory that has been for ages.
At
They
least,
called it after round 25. That was ridiculous.
Dean was up there for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
The fact that he played two positions meant that he couldn't win anyway.
Good job, Emma, by the way, as well.
Yes, good job, Emma Mantelman.
Yeah.
Hooker of the year, which is fair.
Hooker of the year.
She was definitely the standout.
I think that at least Fran Goldthorpe should have been nominated for Winger of the Year. I
Yeah.
think she deserved at least something.
Kai Woodfield was in the top 4.
Yes.
Mackenzie Wheel probably should have been nominated for like a prop or something.
Yeah, right, one of those. I mean, they were both very consistent throughout the year.
Yeah.
But anyway.
The NRL doesn't like the Cowboys. Anyway.
Fullback, James Tedesco. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Happy.
I'm so excited.
When do we get into the conversation of him being the best fullback of all time?
I don't know about all time, but of the last 20 years, he's the best fullback. I mean,
Well, if he's the best fullback of the last 20 years, he is the best of all time. Because the only other competition is Billy Slater. And he was the last 20 years. So
who never won any. Oh, no, he did get fullback of the year a couple of, at least once or twice. Look, Tedesco has to be up there in the conversation.
he has to be.
Simple as that.
I wonder when his career ends in 3 or 4 years. Where's he going to sit in terms of just all-time players? Period. He'd have to be up there.
Oh, yeah, he's in the conversation. He's Mr. Consistent.
Yes.
That's why he won. Sometimes he didn't look like he was doing much, but he played every single game without a miss this year, which helps.
Which is probably the only reason he won. To be fair, the best ability is availability. So
I guess that's true.
Winning.
Well,
Mark Xavier nailed it. No surprises there.
yeah, my other one, Tuivasa-Sheck, didn't get it, unfortunately, but I definitely picked Mark and Mark.
I don't think Roger was nominated.
Why?
But neither was Aaron Clark, and he still won a lot.
Was he not nominated for one?
I didn't see him in the nominations
Hold
for
on, now I gotta check that. Seriously?
I was sure he wasn't actually named in the nominations for what. I could be wrong.
I'm gonna try to find this now. Find this. Where is Aaron Clark? Where are you? Well, there's so much to scroll through now because they just put up everything.
Yeah.
There. Robin Summons medal. Zach Lomax. Hooray. They even announced that. I don't remember seeing that.
For the main one.
Yeah.
Makes the actual right go a bit short.
Is it? Where are you? Where are you?
Right.
I can't even find it. That's annoying.
No, but when I saw it, I went, he's not even on there. So my pick for that is not a thing.
Yeah, it's gone. I can't find it.
I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, he's not there.
Yeah, he was. Now, Foden White being a lock was stupid because he was a prop and he should have won it over Adam Fanua Blake. That was daylight robbery. I'm sorry, there is no way that Adam Fanua Blake was better this year than either now Fahu White or Terrell May. That is dumb.
I'm also sorry, but Nathan Cleary doesn't deserve halfback of the year.
Anyway, let's get to that later. Centres.
Herbie Farnworth was robbed.
Yeah.
Herbie was robbed. I'm sorry, he was better than Katoni Staggs was this year.
I got one centre right.
I got Critter right, yeah.
Stephen Crichton's going to win for as long as he's playing. Timothy Saki was a pipe dream.
That was a pull and a half.
Yeah, it was great. You picked Blaze Talagi for 5'8" of the year. I don't want to hear it.
It was Ethan Strange.
I'm good. Yes, Ethan Strange. Very good. His best half of the year carried that one.
Yeah.
I think Munster probably deserved it more because he's been more consistent, but good job, Ethan.
And Cleary gets halfback.
He doesn't deserve it.
No, Katoa should have had halfback.
Katoa's going to won Dally M, to be fair.
It was a long way behind it. You know.
Everyone was a long way
He
behind.
was probably better than Cleary.
Not in terms of like regular season play, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think the state of origin should count towards the Dally M.
exactly. Don't you would have got like 1 million points.
Or at least you should get like a bump if you
Yeah.
win like the Wally Lewis medal or like a man of the match performance. or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, then also,
I think that would be fair.
Don't you would have got like 17 points.
Edges, Hudson Young, Eli Katoa, I'm not surprised at all. Hudson Young scored too many tries to not be in this conversation.
Yeah. I know you got Eli Katoa, and it wasn't. I thought Preston might have had a chance, but
I think Preston will get there at some point, especially if like Lockie Galvin starts giving him the ball consistently. He probably will have a better shot. Blake Brayley, very good.
okay, we didn't do props yet.
Well, I ranted about that. Payne Haas
Yeah.
was always going to be the
And
case.
it's just a minute. I actually like Adam Fanua Blake, but I don't think he deserves top of the year.
He's worse this year than he was last year. But I think quite some distance.
Well, I guess he's on a team that has players that are very similar to him too.
And
so.
I feel like Terrell May was probably like the most important forward to his team
Mm.
of anybody.
Joe Tarpany probably should have had a shout for it.
Well, Fahu White should have been nominated for prop and not lock. Because that's just dumb.
Yeah.
Speaking of locks, though, Aaron Clark.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy.
You know, I thought he had a really stellar season.
He's been really good.
He's
Arguably,
arguably the best Warrior.
I don't think it's arguable. Well, okay, well,
Once Metcalf got in.
yeah. Rookie of the year, Robert Toya. Very good.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
really
happy with that.
pick one. I thought it might have been Leka Halsema. He was nominated.
Go wins captain of the year. Yay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Company could.
Can you tell it? Can you tell it?
Company wasn't even nominated.
I can't even remember the captain of the year.
It was James Tedesco, Nathan Cleary, and Stephen Crichton. Somebody wasn't there.
I don't know why Nathan Cleary was nominated.
Yeah,
I feel like Isaiah Yo's the actual coach.
replace Cleary with Tarpany. It's more fair.
Coach of the year, I picked this one, Ricky Stewart. Well done, Ricky.
I'm not overly surprised. I know I picked Michael Maguire, but it was probably should have been Ricky Stewart. Just yay.
Try of the year, Mark.
I did give it to Marky Mark, the individual.
Fine.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, I took did the Tigers one even get nominated? I guess the Cowboys, it should have.
I think it did.
Yeah. I went with that one, but look, I understand why they gave it to Mark. It was very good individual brilliance.
By the way, it was Ethan Strange who won tackle of the year for his one of Connor Tracy, which is fair. It's probably a fair.
I still don't agree with the try of the year. Like 3 weeks after it happened, no one was talking about it.
Yeah, because
people are still talking about Mudgy stuff.
Yeah, but I think Marky Mark deserves it. I think individual effort does need to be recognised with these awards.
I actually thought Sean Johnson's little dig at him when he was talking to him was quite funny.
Phil Johnson was the only reason the Dally M ceremony was watchable. Holy crap, it's so bloated.
It's boring.
Oh my word.
And he was good. His thing when he was good to Mark, and it'd be good to see you playing NRL for
10 years.
10 years. Next 10 years, yeah, he's going up to 26.
Yes. NRLW, Dally M player of the year was Tamika Upton.
Look, not a lot. The surprise was there were 2 Broncos.
I wasn't surprised. I was very happy seeing Julia Robinson up there. I think she deserved it more.
Isabel Kelly just she was leading and then died in the butt.
Well, she missed the game because she tried to bite Frank Goldthorpe's elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
and moved the teeth backwards.
If Jakarta Whitfield didn't get injured, I reckon she would have had a shout for it.
Maybe she was up there too.
She was up there.
She was out for 2 weeks. That would have probably put her up
She
pretty
was in the
close.
top four after
She
the.
was in the top four.
Where Tom Dean ended up at G? Six.
Yeah, which is still pretty good considering he swapped between positions and whatever else halfway
He
through
was
the year.
in first at one point.
For like half a second.
The Dalian system is broken because I'm sorry, James Tedesco was not 3 man of the match performances better than anybody else this year.
No,
I think that's just wrong.
Izzy Cataldo.
I guess it could be.
I think Isaiah Cattell really deserved it. I thought he had
Some very good stretches in there, that's for sure, where he got close and then
he had a couple of quiet patches too. It's just he played all the games.
would help.
Being the best player on a bum average team is the best way to win this.
Absolutely, which is another reason.
Well, Isaiah Cattell should have won it.
And Tom Dean was up close
Yeah,
because he's the best player on a average team.
frustrating.
But anyway, we were correct about 60% of the time. So you might have made a little bit of money out of us if you followed us.
I'm picking Cam Mustard with a Clive Churchill, so
Me too.
jump on that one.
Yeah.
I think Melbourne win and he will be the winner of that. It'll be him or Jerome Hughes.
Stefano, maybe.
And,
They never give it to the forward.
They gave it to Liam Martin like 2 years ago.
If we're going to go by who was the best player in football this year, wins the Dalian, it probably should have been Payne Haas.
well,
But they never give it to forwards, which is just sad.
the last one they gave it to?
Jason
Carolina,
Taylor.
2016.
And before that, it was that Sharks guy, wasn't it? The Sharks second row. What's his name?
Gavin Miller back in the
Yes, back in the
80s. or early 90s, yes.
He needs to get forwards for.
Yeah, I guess it's they're not as flashy. I suppose they don't get as much.
Do you think Brisbane finish in the top 4 without Payne Haas? Do they finish in the top 8 without Payne Haas?
I think they could possibly make 8, but I think that would be where it stopped.
Which forward do they have in place of Payne Haas?
Xavier Wilson. That's
It's
it.
also been okay.
He's good.
Bad.
But no, I think that the Dalian system is inherently broken, but I don't know what the best way to fix it is.
Yeah.
Guess we're stuck with it. We're stuck with James Tedesco.
Let's get a.
James Tedesco finishing in the top 5 like every year.
Me and him were talking about this last night. Me and him were talking about this last night. Get a comedian to host it. That'd be so much fun.
I think Jim Jeffries should host the Dalians.
Jimmy Reese should host it. That'd be funny.
Or Carl Barron.
He can't bear it.
Carl Barron, with his start on the footy show, I reckon
He
really
would
well.
be so funny.
That'd be funny. At least it would make it watchable.
Or even like, Andrew Denton.
That would be fun, hey?
He's very funny.
Yeah. It has to be somebody that's not Brayton Banasta.
Or
It's so uninteresting.
Adam Hills. Or somebody, I mean.
Need to make it like I said, Sean Johnson made that watchable. That was it.
Get SJ to host it. That'd be so much fun.
Although that cover of Fix You they did for the Instagram was really well done.
That was really, really good, yeah. Okay, well, that's the wrap. One more week.
That's us. Grand final
And
next week. And then I don't know what to
So,
do.
recap on tips. Don't know for the ladies. Hopefully Melbourne for the gents, and it's probably the Warriors for the...
the state
So, that will pay you about $5, I reckon, for those 3 games. Go for
Yes.
it. Have fun.
We'll
Enjoy.
Letter review.
See how well
Would you
Brisbane
win?
goes this week in all 3 levels.
Are you gonna do like a letter review next week?
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out when we're gonna do like our review of our ladder
From where we
predictions.
got, yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
I got like nothing right. I reckon.
I got at least one
I
right.
got the Cowboys.
I got a
right, yeah.
Homer pick right, and it was terrible.
Okay. No, let's have a really good week, everyone. If you like listening to idiots talk about football, like them to press the little bell,
Especially me.
little subscribe button.
Tell he's 90 years old. All right.
Hit the bell.
Thank you, guys.
Subscribe button.